Hi, I'm Duane from AnyoneCanFixIt. I like looking at new technologies that anyone can implement to save money. One of the things I've recently investigated and implemented in my own house is LED lighting. I've been waiting for the technology to develop and for the prices to become feasible to implement this technology, and I think the time has now arrived to do that. I have a lot of dimmer switches in my house. In fact, they're electronic light controllers made by Insteon. That's INSTEON. Which you can get from smarthome.com. But these are switches that allow me to control various lights from one location in my house, even implementing controlling them remotely from the internet. When LEDs first came out, they weren't really compatible with dimmers. Today, though, there are LEDs that are all dimmable, so there's plenty of them that work with the dimmers. I've got a variety of these lights. I've got recessed lights, I've got overhead lights, I've got lights in ceiling fans, decorative lights above bathroom mirrors, and desk lamps, just to name a few. I found that there's an LED light that will fit and work in all of these applications today. What's efficient about LED lights is that they provide the same amount of light as a regular incandescent bulb, and this is our regular incandescent bulb. They provide it for about 84% less energy. The light that is normally delivered by a 60-watt incandescent bulb can now be supplied by a 9.5 watt LED light bulb. And you'll be hard pressed to find the difference in the lighting. With the right choice of LED lights, they look just like the incandescent bulb that I just showed you. The light can be just the same. So if you have a light fixture that has 4 incandescent bulbs that typically use, say, 60 watts, and you replace it with one of these LED bulbs that uses only 9.5 watts, you go from using 240 watts down to using 38 watts while the lights are on. So that's a pretty significant savings, and especially when you start looking around and see how many light bulbs actually turn on when you turn a switch on. So there were 2 things that convinced me that it was time to switch to LED lights. The first was the price. Cree has come out with a bulb. The 60-watt bulb is about $13 from Home Depot. And not only is it $13, but it's guaranteed for 10 years, or it's warranted for 10 years. So, and then actually the rated life of this bulb is 22.8 years based on 3 hours per day usage. So it should last, I'm hoping, more than 10 years. And so it shouldn't be something that needs to be changed. And the other thing is that they are now compatible with dimmers. So that's really what threw me over the edge to switch to LED bulbs. This Cree light comes in 2 different types of light. They have a warm light, and they say it right there, and they have a daylight. You really want to stick to a warm light if you like the color of incandescent bulbs. They have the daylight bulb, which is rated at 5,000 K. They call it 5,000 K light appearance. That's a little bit like a sterile light that you would find in an operating room or something like that. This warm white is rated at 2,700 K light appearance, and that's more the type of light that you get out of a regular incandescent bulb. There was a Home Depot employee that reported to me that about 80% of the daylight versions of this Cree bulb are returned because they're too bright. But she said the warm white usually are not returned. The people are very happy with that. So I'm here to tell you, if you're getting a replacement, you want to try LED bulbs and you're replacing them with incandescent, you want to go with the warm white color. The Cree bulbs look like regular incandescent shaped bulbs. They have a little rubber, you can feel it, it's a rubber coating around the bulbs. Appearance wise though, they look like a regular bulb. They're designed with LED lights pointing outward along the sides, and that can make the slight difference in how the bulbs will illuminate versus a standard incandescent. But it tends to shine the light the brightest from the side, so I found one of the applications this works well in is from a nightstand application. The other bulb I tried from Home Depot was a EcoSmart 40-watt bright white bulb. These bulbs can again be found at Home Depot for about $10. This is the 40-watt version. This bulb has a light appearance rating of 3,000 K, which is close to the 2,700 K that I was telling you about. As long as you're in the 2,700 to 3000K light appearance, you're looking at the light will be like an incandescent bulb. Now this bulb is dimmable too, but it doesn't carry the 10-year warranty. It has a 5-year warranty. And one of the biggest difference between this and the Cree is the orientation of the LEDs. So the LEDs shine out of the top versus this where they're shining out of the side. Where I found the best application for this is for a desk lamp. They're good to direct light straight out of the top of the bulb. Okay? So between the EcoSmart and the Cree bulbs, I found that they both dim, but with LED bulbs, they don't dim really low. They turn off before getting to the dimly lit glowing level. So that's just one thing to be aware of. But they will dim. They go down to a low level, but it's just not that little glow that you can get down to in an incandescent bulb. The next bulb that I found for my recess lighting application was a Philips 65 watt equivalent LED dimmable soft white bulb. This fit my 5-inch diameter recess light openings, and it provides a great equivalent light to the incandescent bulbs which they were replacing. These have a 2700K appearance rating, so that's quite close to the incandescent bulbs that they were replacing. The cost was quite a bit more. I actually found these on sale at Home Depot for $19.99. And the only other difference that I noticed in these was that they have a slight delay when you turn them on, a very ever so slight delay, like a quarter of a second or less. It's hardly noticeable unless you compare them to other LEDs. I've got an application where I've got the spotlight along with some Crees on in some recessed lighting, and when I flip that switch on, the Crees come on right away. This is just a slight delay, nothing noticeable. You wouldn't even notice it if you had all of these bulbs on one light switch. It's just when you mix them up you can actually see a difference. I also found that the Philips bulb was also the worst at dimming to a low level. It just doesn't want to go to a very low light level before it turns off. It does dim, but just not to a barely visible glowing level like you can achieve with a incandescent bulb. The Philips light bulb has an estimated life of 22.8 years when used for 3 hours per day, just like all the others. And it does come with a 6-year warranty. And it provides 65 watts of incandescent light for 13 watts. So what I did in my house was I replaced all the lights in my house that I use about 90% of the time. There were a few lights that I left as incandescents because we rarely use them. Like in our formal dining room, I figured I'd just wait a little bit longer since we don't use them that much, and then it's just really not enough to justify buying all LED replacements. For the dining room, for example, there'd be 8 bulbs that I'd have to replace in a fixture, and we just really don't use it that much to even get the savings out of it. So what I've found in switching over to LED bulbs is within a couple of months I've been able to say that I'm basically achieved a 10% savings in electricity usage. In my comparison of my May 2013 bill, it didn't compare well with May 2012 because May 2012 we had quite a bit higher temperatures, and the temperatures caused me to run my air conditioning a whole lot more, and that takes up a lot more energy. But what I did is I found a month in which the average temperature was about the same as my May 2013 bill, and I found that to be October 2011, where the temperatures were the same. Comparing the two, May 2013 with the LED lights in use was approximately 9.4% lower in kilowatt usage. The next month comes along in June of 2013. I was able to compare that to June of 2012. The temperatures were practically the same, so this all compared very well. And I found that in June of 2013, with the LED bulbs in use, that there was approximately 10.3% lower kilowatt usage. So I believe it's safe to say I'm getting about a 10% savings from switching to the LED lights. Now, your usage may vary. It depends on how much you use lights in your house, how many lights you have. You can vary depending on how much electricity is being used by the air conditioner. Again, that's one of the larger consumers of electricity in your house. You may not have 10% savings in July and August when the majority of your energy is being used by the air conditioner. But what I found is with 10% savings in electricity from switching over to bulbs, I was actually able to pay for them, or calculate that I'll pay for them in about 2 years. So for example, my June 2013 electric bill was $224.60. If this was 90% of what I would have been paying without these bulbs, then I basically would have been paying $249.56. So I achieved a cost savings of $24.96 per month, approximately $25 per month with the amount of light bulbs that I have and that I replace. So if you take that $24.96 and divide that into the cost of the bulbs, I basically spent about $550 on LED replacement bulbs. So when you do that math, basically it says within 22 months I'll recoup the cost of the bulbs. So rounding off 22 months, basically 2 years I'll recoup the cost of the bulbs and the savings that I get out of the savings. And then I've got another 8 years of warranted life of these bulbs. So the other benefit is if they actually last as long as they claim, I won't be changing the bulbs as often as I was before. For whatever reason, it seems like I'm always changing and replacing the recessed lighting bulbs and bulbs in my overhead fan light. Now, a lot of this can be attributed to the mechanical vibrations of the fan, the overhead fan, and my kids jumping in the upstairs room. And the incandescent bulbs are just sensitive to that kind of mechanical knocks. The LED bulbs, this shouldn't be a problem with, so I don't anticipate having to replace them from that. Anyway, I hope you found this information helpful and informative. Go to AnyoneCanFixIt to find other ways that anyone can fix it and save yourself money. Thank you.